Hello and welcome. This is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and as you are aware by now for sure that we have been doing our SWAC volleyball tour, and today we have the luxuries and the honors of sitting down with Coach Joycelyn Adams of the Texas Southern Lady Tigers. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm wonderful.
All right. Well, we're extremely excited and glad for you to be a part of this tour. And for those who are just familiar about what it is that we're trying to do here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, we have taken it upon ourselves to spearhead a volleyball movement, if you will. And we're going to be providing weekly commentary and concepts for our Open Mic Broadcast Network listeners of volleyball content starting this fall. And the concept is very simple. We want to have all the coaches participate. They call in, give SWAC summaries of the matches and the upcoming matches, and we're going to have interviews with players of the week. And we're trying to take this to the next level, and it is because of coaches like Coach Adams that is able to make this possible. And we just want to take the time, Coach, to have you introduce yourself to our listening audience and how you ended up at Texas Southern.
My journey is quite funny. Now, I'm Joycelyn Adams, head volleyball coach at Texas Southern University. I started my coaching career at my alma mater, Prairie View A&M University, in 1990 and stayed there until 1999. Left coaching a little bit to start a family and got the bug again and started the route kind of backwards. Went to middle school, high school a little bit, and then in 2011, Dr. Charles McClellan hired me as the next volleyball coach for Texas Southern University, and I've been here ever since and enjoying it.
Well, you've been enjoying it, and you've had a very good run, a strong standing. Last year, you finished 16-2 in conference, 22-11 overall, and a lot of people have a tendency to miss the dedication and the preparation that it takes to not just be at the top, but stay at the top. And what is some of your philosophy and approach to being consistent as you're being at Texas Southern?
My biggest thing in my program is to get the kids to buy in. I think once they buy in and understand what your philosophy is and what you want to achieve for them, not only for yourself, but for them, then once the buy-in process is done, then they'll move mountains for you. And I think we've been pretty successful in getting the kids to buy into the program. We came into a program where we were 5-21 our first season, and we've tried to climb that ever since. Losing becomes a habit just like winning. So we build a culture of winning, and we want to win in the classroom, we want to win on the court, and we just want to win in life. So I think that's been the driving mantra that we've had here at Texas Southern University. Now,
there's that buzzword again, culture. And it seems like to be the branding buzzword, that and the word marketing or branding. So if you were to describe the Texas Southern culture and then the Texas Southern brand, how would you do that?
Just being successful. I mean, when I came in, Dr. McClellan's biggest thing was that although he wants us to win, he wants us to win in every aspect, not just on the court, in the classroom, everywhere. And to get these kids to understand that the culture here is success. And we're going to give you the tools to be successful. And in every aspect, that culture goes down from the students to the athletes to the administration to the university and all the way around. Just trying to build that idea that we're going to be successful, and whatever it takes, we're looking to be successful.
Talking with Coach Joycelyn Adams of the Lady Tigers of Texas Southern on our volleyball tour here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Now, Coach, there's a lot of emphasis, and I'll share my little 2 cents after I hear from you, on facilities. We keep hearing we got to have facilities in order to compete. I have a theory, but I want to hear how relevant is that for you and your program?
Well, I'm fortunate to have good facilities, and when students come and you're recruiting them, they do tend to want to play on a big stage. They want to play in a facility where they feel that when they come into the gym and it's a large gym and the crowd is roaring, it gets them motivated to come. They want to see if they have a locker room. They want to see what you do on a day-to-day with your team, if you have facilities for them to study, entertainment facilities. So the students, they do ask those questions, and do we play here, or are we just showing, you're just showing us this gym, this is our playing facility? So those questions are very relevant to the athletes that you're recruiting, because we're in this age where everything is big, everyone wants to be on the grand stage, so it is important. But here at Texas A&M University, we're fortunate enough to have great facilities. So that has not been a big issue with us, but I think around as you go and talk to athletes, facilities are important.
Now, you just said a whole lot, but it sounded like you were garbling. I hope we got all of that. It sounded like you were underwater just for a minute, but I can edit that part out. That's no problem.
Okay.
Now, I'm from the old school, and sometimes we're trying to be big when little has us by the toe.
Mm-hmm.
If you're familiar with that old saying.
Never heard it, but I understand it.
You understand it, though, okay?
Yes.
And here's an example. When we talk about our conference, the Southwestern Athletic Conference in this particular case, mm-hmm. and we talk about people's perception and this, that, and the other, what I'm concerned about, and I heard you loud and clear about facilities and their importance, but wouldn't a system outweigh a facility factor? And then number two, if we're going to go that part, and I'll just ask this question, do you have a nutritionist for your athletes at Texas Southern?
We don't necessarily have a nutritionist on board, but we have access to a nutritionist who can give the students tools to use to eat healthier and better.
Right.
On campus. We don't per se have an athletic nutritionist.
Now, I'm saying all that to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be, at least from our vantage point, financial-wise, to invest more in a nutritionist than facilities until we can get to that level with facilities? And the reason I say that, because most of our student athletes are going to have more physical challenges once they're done playing. And if we're talking about the total student experience, the student athlete experience, wouldn't it be a little bit advantageous to set nutritional habits that can extend beyond their playing days rather than putting the emphasis on facilities to start?
Absolutely. I mean, when you ask the question about facilities, it's just that's the day and age in which we live in. People want to see, and everything is visual. But as far as like the idea of having an on-staff nutritionist, that would be ideal. That would be a perfect situation. But because we don't have those things available, we do have access to get them available. Because my kids laugh at me all the time because my biggest thing when we go out dinner, they know they can't order sugary drinks, water. That's what they're going to have. You know, we try to put them in the best situation to eat as healthy as possible, but we can't be with them 24/7. So we give them tools, and we actually give them, well, I know I do, have a little guide to tell you things that you can't eat. How do you snack? So we do those type of things, and then we have individuals on campus at the university that if we need to go, they can set up meals and guide the student athletes into eating properly, because even in the dining facilities, there are nutritional things that they can choose from, and it's up to the students to also take an individual responsibility. That's why my program, I always push ownership, because I don't want to just tell you to do everything. I need you to take some ownership in being responsible for your diet, for your health, because like you said, it's going to go beyond athletics. And at a certain time, this arm is not going to swing anymore. These knees are not going to move anymore. So you have to be able to live. So I do
you preach it to the choir for sure on that one, young lady. And I call you young lady purposely.
So my kids always said, "Oh Lord, Coach, can we have some besides water?" No, but I think it's very important. But I think ownership and individual responsibility weighs a lot also.
Absolutely. We're talking with Joycelyn Adams, head volleyball coach for the Lady Tigers. and going into, if I'm not mistaken, your 7th year at Texas Southern, correct?
That would be correct.
Okay, that would be correct. All right. Now, Coach, let's talk about some of your returning players. You had a successful season. Of course, didn't win the championship because the goal is always to do what? Win the championship. I know it. I said because my theory was the second place winner was the first loser. That's how I looked at it, and I'm okay with that. Who are some of your key players returning, and what are some of their strengths to help lead that way for the Lady Tigers in 2017?
I think we have really 4 solid returners. Nicole Robinson was our starting right side. She'll be returning, and I think she'll make an impact this year. Kirby Anderson was one of our middle blockers who we brought in last year, but unfortunately she got injured, so now she's back on track, and she had a very, very successful spring season, and we're looking for her to do some great things. We have our senior setter, Elena Torres. She'll come in with experience also, and she'll battle for us, and then also our DS senior, Erin Adams. So we have 4 solid seniors who are going to lead the program and lead the younger kids that we're bringing in, and I think they're going to do pretty good. They're very, very astute students, and they're also very hungry for a championship. They've been here 4 years. They've been teetering around that semifinals, getting to the finals. So they're kind of hungry. So I think they're going to push the younger girls to do well.
Well, one thing that I've noticed throughout this volleyball circuit, although it's a very competitive circuit, but there is a cohesiveness among the head coaches that's a little bit different than most other sports. And how do you explain that?
I just think we're all vying for the same opportunities, the same goals, and we have a good relationship. I mean, we compete against each other when we want to see each other succeed also. So every time another coach, like especially Penny, she is always bringing ideas, trying to strengthen and better the SWAC as a whole. I think we all gravitate to that and work with her and just have a great relationship. I love the dynamics of our conference coaches.
Now, you were number 2 in conference on hitting and behind, of course, Alabama State, who you just mentioned, Coach Penny White. That's got to be one of your strengths returning for this 2017 campaign, correct?
Oh, definitely, yes.
And when it comes to lining things up, what do you look for in a hitter? Because I know everybody's looking for something different, and of course everybody wants the 6'2", 6'3" athletic. But what are you looking for when you go out recruiting hitters?
Everything, a total package. That would be ideal to get a couple of 6'2", 6'3" in here, but just mechanics, make sure they're hitting and swinging properly, make sure they're landing properly. I may not get the highest, best leaper or the most athletic, but if they have proper mechanics and techniques, I think they'll be more successful than a person who's very athletic but hitting the ball incorrectly, throwing out a shoulder, or different things like that. So I look at the big picture. I like explosive athletes, so if they're a little small in stature, but they're very explosive and they're technically sound, I like those type of athletes.
Very good, very good. We're talking again with Coach Joycelyn Adams of the Lady Tigers of Texas Southern. Coach, I've been asking the coaches this and want to get your take on it. How are you in the comfortability of the new format change going to Sunday, Monday formats for your conference play?
It's going to be a challenge. Anytime you get changed as a challenge, but I think we'll be okay. You have to play the schedule, and however the schedule presents itself, you have to just be prepared for it. And now we just have to shift gears a little bit and get the young ladies ready to a Sunday, Monday challenge and get classes structured around that schedule. And I think it'll be fine. We'll be okay.
Okay. Now, Coach, as you get ready, you got your change with that Sunday, Monday. I said fun day. The Sunday, Monday format. It kind of changed the dynamics, too. You used to go from playing your West opponents twice, and so that has changed. Does that change your approach, or does it intensify the more meaningful games when you come across your Western opponents?
It just gives you that sense of urgency. You have to get it done. You might not have a lot of turnaround time to get that done. I think the way the format is with the 2 roundups, that's going to help. And so I think it puts a more competitive edge there, because everyone knows now when I meet you in the roundup, or I get you in the second round, I know it's very, very important that we take care of business immediately and not leave any room for error. I'm going to get you later, because it may not be later. It needs to get done now.
So you got to get it done and get it done right now. All right. Coach Adams of the Lady Tigers, getting ready for the 2017 campaign. We're going to be featuring exclusive volleyball radio show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network that is going to feature all of these coaches giving their reports, updates, and analysis as the season unfolds. Coach, we really appreciate you taking time out to be a part of our tour as we go and introduce and present to others just who the Joycelyn Adams are and what SWAC volleyball is all about. Is there anything you'd like to share as we get ready to shut down this segment?
I appreciate the efforts, and let's put women's volleyball on the map. And with these efforts, we thank you for spotlighting us, and the SWAC is alive and well.
Well, we thank you all for your willingness to be a part of it, and we look very, very forward and excited about the development of the relationships from both sides. This has been another volleyball tour for the Southwestern Athletic Conference featuring the Texas Southern Lady Tigers and Coach Joycelyn Adams. I am Dr. Mike Prince, the radio guy. Be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.